about me, then I would have died a long time ago, a spiritual death, a mental death, and an emotional death, because I barely made it out of high school. I dropped out of college my first semester, and I went to school for journalism, for broadcasting. Now, who would have thought that years and years later that I would be doing some form of all of those things? So that goes to prove to you and to others that are not even on the line that you might have been, thinking about, why is everything a delay, a delay, a delay, a delay? When is this ever going to happen for me? Well, delay is not a denial, because even though it may not come right then and there, it will come eventually, but you just have to have patience. So there's a saying, faith without works is dead. And I believe that. But I also believe that faith tied to patience has to be in the equation, because faith without patience is dead, because faith is the highest level of patience. That's the component that needs to be in the equation for faith to be activated. So I'm going to roll right into my training, because I think that's a great segue. I could stay on that for about 25, 30 minutes about faith and patience. But today, I'm going to finish up with creating the Yes Atmosphere Part 2. So many of you joined me on last Saturday morning, and today I'm unable to be on Zoom and Facebook. I have my Wi-Fi in my hotel, for whatever reason, it keeps knocking me off. I tried to do a couple of Zooms yesterday on my laptop and my tablet. And so many people are using Wi-Fi. I'm assuming that's the case in this hotel. So I'm just grateful that I have a strong enough carrier on my mobile device and I'm able to just log on this way. So thank you for all of your patience, because I know many of you texted me yesterday saying, hey, I have a loved one. They can't get on Zoom, but they can darn sure get on Facebook. So I hope that you're going to be on Facebook Saturday morning. So today, unfortunately, I'm not going to be on Facebook offering the training. Okay, so last Saturday, just to recap, we talked about the ability and the stability of the mind. We talked about the way we process things. We talked about the things that go into your ear gate, then go into your what? It goes into your thoughts, and your thoughts and your feelings are kind of parallel, right? And we talked about the fact that thoughts and feelings become what? Emotions. And emotions then become the words, because you think about it long enough and then you start having a feeling, either a feeling of faith, a feeling of fear, a feeling of sadness, a feeling of happiness, whatever the case may be, or whatever that situation that you're processing or that you allowed someone to dump on you in your ear gate. And in order to create the yes atmosphere, we've got to understand and go back to the premise of how all activity, how all history, and how all legacy forms. And all of those things form in someone's ear gate, in their mind. Every activity, whether you win, whether you lose, whether you fail, whether you get divorced, whether you stay married, whether you have money, whether you stay broke, whether you have a husband, a wife, whether you go through life alone, whether you join a church home, whether you don't, whether you become what your grandparents and your parents told you were going to become, whether that doesn't happen, whether you break the generational curses, whether you contribute to the generational curses, regardless of whatever it is, whatever the outcome of your history and your legacy started with what you allowed to be fed. So the question you have to ask to create the yes atmosphere, yes in everything that you do, yes in everything, every activity that you decide to connect yourself with, every person you decide to connect yourself with, you have to go back to who's feeding you. Who are you eating from? Who is it that's feeding you? What is in front of you each and every day that you wake up to consider to eat? Meaning, what is going into your ear gate? Like many of you made a conscious decision this morning that I'm going to participate in today's Wake Up and Soar with Coach Helen, Dr. Helen Delahoussaye Clay, whatever you want to call me. I'm going to participate in the 11 o'clock positions panel today, okay, which is going to be a very unique and just outstanding. So you want to start getting people in position for that right now, okay? I'm going to participate in today's 12 o'clock Lifestyle Connect, or the 9 o'clock Lifestyle Connect. This tonight. I'm going to participate. I'm going to leave my house today. Even if I just take a drive for 1 hour, I'm going to leave my house today. Whatever it is that you've made up your mind, when you do these things, you have just made a decision of who you're going to eat from today. Who am I eating from today? Who is the person that's going to feed my mindset? Because in order for your mindset to be reset, and many of us are in that place because of all of the stuff that we can't not control that goes on in the world. Now we're in a place, true or true, that the world, the government, the president of the United States of America, many prime ministers of other countries, because I know we have leaders from different countries on the line today, they have made a decision, okay? They've made a decision either to participate with reopening their country or state, okay, or not. How did they make that decision? Every decision in life, I need you to hear me, and I need you to hear me good. Every decision that you make, every decision that you make in your subconscious mind, in your frontal lobe, because your brain is broken up in 4 parts. That is not for today's training, but I will get there. Maybe we'll have part 3 next week, depending on how many people tell me this was a rich training last week. Today, we want to hear more. Depending on how many people put that in the chat, how many people reach out to me one-on-one after this, that will determine if I shift the training for next Saturday morning or if I continue forth. So every decision that we make as human beings, as individuals, as mothers, as fathers, as a brother, as a sister, as a friend to somebody, as a marketplace minister, as a hater, as a participator, as a dream maker, as a dream taker, whoever it is that you decide that you are today, okay? Whatever, as a leader, okay? As someone who's wealthy, as someone who's broke. Doesn't matter your status is my point, okay? Doesn't matter your title. Every decision that you make in life is predicated upon your fear or your faith. There is no in between. In order to create the yes atmosphere, you have to make peace and reconcile with what I just said. Because so often we want the yes, our vision shares that, okay, we're about to have a yes experience today. Everything I touch is yes and amen. Oh boy, we get to preaching, right? But then we still have the mindset that we're operating in fear. You cannot arrive to a yes operating in fear. And there's only 2 components that you can lean on. There is no in between. More people have gone to the divorce court. More people have started a war. So many states are going to reopen, okay? Countries are going to reopen based upon every expert that tells them to stay closed just a little bit longer, guys. Have patience. But they want to hurry and run and embrace the yes. They need the economy to get going again. So we need a yes, so let's reopen. Why do you think they made the decision? Because they are operating in fear. Fear of we're going to go broke as a state. We're going to experience a state of emergency. Okay, all of the resources has ran out in our state. So we must open and put people's lives at jeopardy. It's fear. Okay, you've been in a marriage. I'm going to break it down a little further, but I'm going to try to give you different examples because I'll never teach or say anything that I cannot prove what I'm saying. So I will prove it between having the discussion of theory, and I will also prove it based upon life experience, and I will also prove it based upon how I'm moving and the things that I hear from other experts, okay? Other people that practice their philosophies, they execute philosophies that they spent years and years, decades, okay, of study, of case study. So let's say you've ever been in a relationship, forget the word married, because that word married for single folks, they might not be able to relate to. And for you to create the yes atmosphere, write this down. In order for me to be duplicatable, I've got to be relatable. Relatable in your conversation, relatable in your movement, relatable in your actions, relatable in your action list. The things that you decide not to do are just as powerful as the things that you do. The things that you decide not to say are just as powerful as the things that you say. We've heard that saying that silence speaks what? Volumes, right? So go to relationships. People are making decisions to sever the ties in relationships because they fear the unknown. They don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. They don't know what's going to happen next week. They are broken hearted. That's how they're moving. So they've already made up their mind because of fear that they will end it. So many people are going to get served divorce papers in this season. Many people are going to be told, I don't want to be your roommate anymore. I don't want to live with you anymore. I don't want to breathe around you. I don't want to eat at the table with you because of fear, because it lacked a conversation. It lacked good communication. Communication is viable. It's essential in creating the yes atmosphere. If you want to have a connection with someone, okay, you have to first decide to connect. So if you want someone to say yes to you and whatever it is you're offering, and for just the sake of today's conversation with this community, which is Sankey Nation family, you are wanting people to say yes to be customers. You are wanting people to say yes to be journey pioneers. And so you've got to get yourself in position of, okay, am I moving off of fear or am I moving off of faith? Am I running my business, my Sankey business off of fear? Am I running my Sankey business off of faith? Am I communicating effectively, thoroughly, and being very transparent? Or am I moving cloudy? Am I moving in such a way that I decide when I speak to the people that are automatically attracted to me? Do I pick up the phone today? Do I do a Facebook Live today? Do I invite them to a training today? Do I make any kind of connection or do I not? So you want people to say yes to you, but you've got to be honest with yourself. Did you say yes to you? Did you say yes to you? When you woke up this morning, did you say yes, or was everything in your mind that was running across your mind, running a million miles a minute, was everything negative, dark, gloomy, defeat, misunderstood, depressed? What is it? How did you wake up? You got to ask yourself, because it'll spew from you. Whatever you're thinking, the fear will the residue of that will just kind of spew off of you. Or the faith. I'm going to give you a life example. So my life example would be, I came here to handle some very personal business regarding my son, Eric. And I've been getting no from every doctor in Florida. So I had to go back and activate the principles that I'm teaching you each and every Saturday morning. So I said, wait a minute, I need a yes. So I first got to give myself permission to experience the yes, write it down. So, okay, I've got to give myself permission. So I'm going to give myself permission. Self, you have permission to walk in a yes today. Self, you have permission to set your expectation beyond anyone's wildest comprehension. Self, you have permission to win. You need a win. Your win is attached to your yes. Your yes is attached to your win. Eric needs a win. You got to stand in the gap for Eric. So self, you will now receive your win, and you're not going back to Florida until you get a yes. I had to coach myself. I literally had to coach myself. Then I went into seeing my yes unfold. Second step. Self, the yes atmosphere consists of you seeing it. You don't get in life, self, what you want. You get in life what you picture. You must now see Eric getting approved in the state of Texas. Self, you must see yourself taking your son to these Brain Institute trauma appointments. Self, you must see yourself finding a residential program for Eric. You must see Eric living in the residential program, and you must see yourself having peace with it. You cannot beat yourself up, self, with making this very personal, gut-wrenching decision to put your son in a temporary residential program. because he is not growing, he's not elevating, he's not healing to the capacity by keeping him in Florida. There is not enough qualified people that can take care of Eric. Self. So self, stop condemning yourself for having to make this decision. Self, your decision may consist of you uprooting your entire family and relocating for a season. And self, you need to tell yourself right now that you didn't fail. Oh, wow. I don't know who I'm talking to this morning. That self, you didn't fail your family. You didn't fail yourself. Self. How many times do you stop and have a conversation to promote and embrace and celebrate your decisions versus to tear down, to be negative, to beat yourself up with the decisions that you have to make every day? Today, you have to eat. Today, you have to find customers. Today, you have to find journey pioneers. So in order for them to be attracted to you, so your search doesn't have to be but 5 minutes, instead of you feeling like you got to beg and convince people to do business with you, you have to first start off by right now and on this call, self, I deserve this win. Self, I am the yes. I am the beginning. I am the end of this day, and I have the solution. Self, people are looking for me today. Self, and I didn't say thank it. I said say it. Write it out. I had to literally take a pen to a paper and write out to create my yes atmosphere for when I arrived to Texas. Because if I had only thought these things, my mind can play tricks on me. I'm human. You're human. So when you don't hear something, you don't see something. Because first you have to say it to see it. Oh, I don't know who I'm talking to this morning. First, you've got to say what you desire. Then you've got to see and picture what you desire. Then you've got to believe. Every thread of your body got to come together and say, I believe that this thing is going to manifest. Then you walk in it. Those are literally the 4 steps. You broke this morning. You don't have enough grocery money because the food stamps done ran out that the state gave you as an emergency assistance, or you've been on food stamps, okay? So they gave you a little bit more. How can I speak to these things? How dare Coach Helen, Dr. Helen speak to food stamps, speak to getting help from the state, speak to standing in a line to get clothes for herself, for her children, for shoes? How can she speak to asking the state for assistance to pay her electricity bill? How can she speak to that? She don't know my pain. She don't know that dark place I got to go in. She don't know that dark place I live in. And that's why it's been hard for me to create the yes atmosphere, because she don't know. She don't have a clue. She doesn't have a clue of the life I'm living, how I'm crawling and clawing to get out of this hole. And she's going to get on the phone and have the nerve to try to speak to me about elevating, about winning, about creating a yes atmosphere. She don't know. She might know about the yes atmosphere of going to the next level because she's already winning. She's already rich. But she can't speak to a place where she ain't never been in poverty, where she ain't never been in a place to beg. Who is she? How dare she? Who this woman thinks she is? I'm going to tell you who I am, so you never get it twisted again. I am that mother that's been in your shoes, that begged the state to help me with food stamps so I could feed my family. I am that mother that stood in lines at the Goodwill when I found out they're giving away clothes because I couldn't afford back to school clothes. I am that mother. I am that wife that had to figure things out to get health insurance for me and my children because my husband couldn't find employment because he was overqualified. I am that person that watched cars get picked up one at a time, that had to depend on Lyft and Uber to get around. And some days didn't even have the money for that. I am that mother that had to do make believe games, that we going on a picnic, or are we going in a closet pretending that we in paradise or in a palace, and I'm a princess, and they're my little princesses, and my little boys are my prince, and we that's the only reason why the candles are lit, because we're in a palace. I've been there, done all of that. But I thank God that in all of the things that I lost, that I never lost the principles of faith. I never lost the principles of life. I am that person that slid down the closet and onto the floor because I drunk myself to sleep all night. And I'm laying in a puddle of Hennessy. I'm laying in a puddle of my urine. So depressed out of my mind. And as I was drinking, I remember thinking that this is it. I want to drink myself to death. I want to die. I don't want to be here. Matter of fact, if I do doze off, I want to just drift off. And if it's heaven, I thank you, Lord. But if it's hell, I just got to accept it. It is what it is. Yeah, I am that person. Been there. But in the midst of all of that, I could go on and on and on and tell y'all things that you would be like, what? Not Helen, not Dr. Helen, not Coach Helen. No, and hey, I ain't been there just one time. I've been there a few times. Yeah, $11 million later in this industry that some of y'all are still thinking is a pyramid scheme, is a scam. I've been there. Been right there. And so after the hangover, after thinking about how many combination of pills I could take so that I wouldn't wake up, after the husband told me it was over, a former husband, an ex-husband that I had, that you're not good enough, you're not pretty enough, you're too fat, you're too dumb. So who gonna want you with all these kids? Who gonna want you? And not just all these kids, but kids from different baby daddies. So you got different baby daddies. You ain't got one baby daddy. You got multiple baby daddies. Who gonna want you? You're gonna be just like your mother. Your mother was a street whore. Your mother was a prostitute. That's who your mother was. They didn't even know who the daddy was when she was pregnant with you. They didn't know. So you gotta be careful. Side note, what you tell everybody, what you tell the person that you fall in love with, what you tell the people that you entrust. You gotta be careful how you tell all your business. See, because your business will become their business, and then the world's business when they fall out with you, when you disappoint them, when you're not that person that they desired you to be, when you're not winning anymore, when you're broke, when you're at the bottom, when you're in the valley. Side note, be careful who you share all your business with. Even your Sankey business. Be careful who you out here trying to talk to into being your customer. You're trying to beg them, because if you got to beg them to be your customer, beg them to join and lock arms with you, and you're already walking in the yes atmosphere, you've already been delivered from some things, you should be attracting a new type of person with new character, new integrity, new energy, new anointing, new gifts. You should be attracting a new story to create the yes atmosphere. So be careful, because when you keep drawing the same old, you're going to keep living the same old way. I'm trying to help just one person that decided to log on today for Wake Up and Soar. And so in the midst of all of the things that I never broke rank. Ooh, wow. I never broke rank. What does that mean for today's training? I accepted that the highest matriarch, the highest person that has the final say in my life, telling me who I am, who I'm not, the final person that I will entrust with everything, that I will give it all away for me, is God, my Lord and Savior. For me, I'm talking about me. I'm not talking about you right now. I'm talking about me. So that sets precedence. That's the highest rank. So I'm not going to break rank. I'm going to go straight to him. When I wake up in the morning to create my Yes Atmosphere, I needed a yes in Texas for my son. So I knew I'm going to go to him and I'm going to meditate upon him and only his yes and his amen. So I'm not going to break rank. I'm not going to go and weed through and stop and talk to Susie or Bebe or Pookie and them. I'm not talking to them. I'm not breaking rank. I'm going to go straight to the top. I'm not breaking rank. I'm going to go straight to the top of the person that I made up my mind that this is the only person that can tell me yes and the only person that can tell me no, period. Who is the person that you've given that authority? Have you given yourself permission to accept that someone needs to be your accountability partner? Because even the word authority is making some people shake in their boots. Authority, ain't nobody gonna tell me what to do. She got me twisted. She got me messed up. Who is it that you allow to speak life and to speak the yes into your atmosphere? Who is it? It can't just be you. Because remember what I said, your mind will play tricks on you. It will play tricks on you. You'll wake up good, and then something will happen called life, and then you start thinking about, oh, Lord, what happened last year? What happened last month? What happened yesterday? Oh, man, when I failed at this. Oh, God, when I borrowed all this money to start this business, it didn't work out. Oh, Lord, I done came in on a pro pack, and I ain't sold not one thing. Jesus, take the wheel. All of these things are real live situations. Worry is normal. Stress is normal. What's abnormal is staying stuck there. That's abnormal. That's abnormal. That day in and day out, you're staying there. You're waking up and you're feeding yourself with depression. You're feeding yourself with defeat. You're feeding yourself you're in denial. You're in denial that it is time to drop the coat and the armor of defeat, the armor of doubt, the armor of death. Because some people do wake up still wanting to die. You do know that. You do know some of the strongest leaders that got this front, that they got it all going on. Because I used to be that person. I got everything figured out. Nothing can touch me. You don't know who I am? You don't know about me. And then I decided in 2015, I'll never forget it, that if it is to be, it's up to me and God. In 2015, wasn't that long ago? And then in 2018, when I battled with cancer for 20 months, 20 months. The battle started November the 3rd, 2017, my birthday month. That's the day I found out. So battling with that, even into 2019, I had to make a decision that the old Helen needed to stay in the grave. Oh, wow. In order for me to create the yes atmosphere, that the things that come into my life are yes, yes, yes. Greatness, winning, love, peace, joy, freedom, happiness. I had to accept that the old had to stay in the grave. I had to go and have a homegoing service for that person, the old Helen, except that she cannot be resurrected. Some things don't need to be resurrected. You do know that, right? In order for you to walk in yes, you cannot carry death with you. You cannot carry fear and faith. They can't marry each other in this season. You've got to choose today. You've got to choose today. Will you continue to go back and live in fear and go to the grave site and keep visiting, revisiting all the things that have died, that you should leave dead. As I come to a close today, it's time to leave it in the grave. It's time to make a decision and to say it, to write your affirmations out for your life that you read out loud every single day as you're creating the yes atmosphere. Because don't you know, just shifting my mindset, making a decision. Matter of fact, I was speaking to Mr. Williams because outside of him being a national sales director, Mr. Williams is my friend. And I was talking to him about what I had to do here in Texas. And you talk to friends because you just don't talk to friends just to talk and to have, you know, a moment of you gossiping or whatever the case may be. You talk because you're in hopes that that friend will speak in prayer with you. We'll have a spiritual dialogue. Well, after you get off the phone, they're going to pray for you. So not just with you, but for you. That's the most important prayer, that when people are praying for you. I know for a fact, without a shadow of a doubt, I was just talking to Eric before we decided to fly to Texas. And that morning when we was leaving out, I said, you're only here by prayer. You're only here by grace, and grace is prayer language. That's the only reason why you're here, son. Ain't no doctors did this. And not just my standalone prayer, the prayer of a mother. Yep, that was a significant role that I played. But the prayer of the righteous, all these people praying, is why you're experiencing a yes. You're experiencing a yes in your life. You're alive. Yes. You know, your health may not be where you want it to be, but it darn sure ain't where it was in December and January and even February. Not just 2 months ago. You are experiencing a yes. You're experiencing a yes in healing. Your body is healing. Your mind is healing. Your heart is healing. You've decided to forgive the person that shot you multiple times with an AK-47, bullets still lodged in the middle of your brain. You've made a decision, you on your own, but it was because of prayer is why you can say with confidence, I forgive the person. If I had to face the persons that tried to take my life, it did take my life because I died for 13 minutes. From what these medical reports are saying, he's got a binder this thick that he reads a little bit each and every day. And it talks about everything that he had, that he experienced. And he's like, I couldn't be even walking in a yes for deliverance, a yes for restoration, a yes for redemption, if I didn't forgive. I don't know who that was for. If I don't forgive them, if I don't release them, if I don't have prayer partners, if I don't have people praying over me each and every day and for me, Mom, you wouldn't even have the strength to get on the plane to face the giant, the dragon that you got to face when you go to Texas, if you didn't have the mindset of a yes. We were talking about Yes Atmosphere because he's on all of my training calls. He's on right now. And he's on everything that I do, even outside of business, because I do have a ministry community that many of you don't even know about. You don't even know that I'm operating in that flow, in that world, because that's that community for those, that's that private community for them. And I don't mix the two. But if I had not activated the principles of faith and made a decision, I wasn't going to operate in flow and fear, then I wouldn't even have got a yes for Eric this week. Because by the way, he does have a yes. He has a yes to come to Texas. He has a yes to get disability. He has a yes to get insurance. That's a celebrating moment. But it all stemmed from the way I was processing things. The things I said was not going to go into my ear gate. I wasn't going to tell myself the things I was going to tell myself when I wake up every morning. Self, as we come to a close, you have permission to win. Say it with me. Self, as we come to a close, you are not the victim. You are victorious. Self, you are not. I am not. Talk to yourself like I'm talking to myself right now. I am not the tail. I'm the head. Self, I will receive a yes today. Self, I will create money. Because side note, you don't make money, you create it. Side note, you don't make money, you create it. You create it first in your mind, then you create it with the words that you speak, because you got to draw these customers and these journey pioneers to you today. And you can draw them to you by saying self. Everyone I come in contact with today will say yes. Every time I pick up the phone, self. These people will say yes to me, whatever I'm in need for, whatever I have a desire for, whatever I have a want for. Self. I am not broke. I am not broken. Self. I am a winner, not a loser. Self. I'm trying to help you. Get in the mirror. It makes it more powerful. It makes it more powerful when you get in the mirror. Talk to yourself. When you get in the mirror, it makes it more powerful. Self. I attract anointed, gifted, talented people to me because I am anointed, gifted, and talented. Self. I will become a six-figure earner in Sankey Global in 2020. Self. I will not attract or give off the coronavirus. Self. I'm protected and I'm covered and I'm anointed. I'm highly favored. Self. I am healed. I am whole. I am happy. I am complete. Self. I'm more than a conqueror. I'm more than enough. Self. Self. Oh, God. Oh. Self. 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 So that is part 2 of creating the Yes Atmosphere. Oh, man. And I'm gonna conclude that, and I'm gonna take anybody who has a question. I'm gonna take 2 or 3, so we can end this and get ready for the physicians panel, and you had enough time. This is real for me. When I offer a conversation at this level, it's so real. You know, it's I'm sharing my life with you. I'm sharing the most intimate part of my life. Many people think I'm an extrovert, but truth be told, when you really get to know me, I'm the person that after this call, I'll go back and sit in a closet or sit in a bathroom or go to a park and read a book or write. I am much the loner, especially if I'm going through a transition or I'm at a crossroad. I get very quiet. I get very, very quiet because I got to talk to self. I got to remind self to create the yes atmosphere, who self is, and more importantly, who self is not and will never be again. Anybody have any questions or a comment? If you have a comment for today's call, and then we're going to conclude. I'm going to take about 5 minutes and no more than 5 minutes, guys. Okay. But I'm going to take a question or comment at this time, and then we're going to conclude and get ready for physicians panel. And today we got a special treat because I have a loved one who's going to be co-hosting it with Dr. Franco today. But she's going to be co-hosting it. And that's none other than my daughter, Angel Della Hussein. She's like, Mom, I'm ready. I'm ready, Mom. I said, okay. You know, I don't show favoritism. And, you know, everybody knows that I'm just as hard on the people. They're like, I don't want you to love me like that because you're going to be ridiculous with me, a nut. So, but I'm very hard on people, and you know, that I love because I want to pull the best out of you. I believe that I'm a midwife. I'm a spiritual midwife. I'm an emotional midwife, and I've been designed to birth the greatness out of you, to assist you in delivering it, and then once you deliver it, to help you to groom it. Okay, because you don't want somebody to birth something and they're not mature enough to even handle it. So you want to stay by their side as long as you can until they get mature in that area of life, and you want to help them to care for it. So anyway, any comments, any questions? Now we have 4 minutes.
Great. Good morning. Great morning. Great morning to you.
Hey, great morning. Great morning, Pastor Terrell.
How are you doing today? I know you look great. I just want to say,
I take that as a compliment. I look sleepy right now because I didn't go to bed until like 5 o'clock. Somebody promised me I was going to get some turkey leg hut last night. I'm not going to call no names, but I drove about an hour to go get some turkey leg hut in Houston. and we drove about an hour from a house that I'm considering getting while I'm here in this season for my son, and and got there, and yeah, it was definitely not the Yes Atmosphere when we got there, but you know, God turned it around.
Yes,
Real
yes,
life,
of
real
course.
life story. You know, we went
Yes.
over the turkey leg, and I just kept talking to myself, self, don't catch a case tonight. Self, don't get arrested. You know,
No,
drove an hour for some turkey leg.
no.
Self, just be
That's
nice.
done dead. That
Pressing
done
and
dead.
praying. Cause self, you know, you didn't waste time to come over here and spend $150 for this food. And guess what happened? They end up finding some turkey legs and gave it to me for free. Dear Lord,
Awesome.
I only had to pay for a few of them, but they gave me 5 whole turkey legs for free because they said, I know I'm dealing with a fool up in here, up in here. I'm not going to call the name of the person
Wow.
that told me to drive over there. I'm not going to call Corey Williams' name. I'm not going to do that this morning. But go ahead, Pastor Terrell.
Yes, I just want to say thank you so much, powerful training. You know, just want to let you know that, you know, continue doing what you're gonna do, and always a yes will be in your way. Just continue
Oh,
to,
thank you,
you know,
Pastor.
that's
You
all
know,
I
I
want to
love
say.
you. I love you,
Have
and
an
I love
awesome day.
you. You always are such an encourager. And I'm just so grateful that our lives connected 11 years ago, and that you and I have stayed connected at the root. And that's
Yes.
that's a blessing. That's a blessing. And I don't take it lightly, not one iota. Anybody else have a comment or a question?
Great morning, Dr. Helen, Pastor Giselle. Just wanted to say thank you for that amazing call, and thank you for pouring out of your life, and the Lord bless you and have a great day. Thank you so much.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Pastor Giselle. I was talking about you last night. Your ears should be burning, honey. Your ears should have been burning because I was talking about you with my daughter. A lot of the testimonies that you shared with me, the intimate side of your world and your life, and how grateful I've been because I am connected to a powerful woman like yourself. So thank you so much for that comment. It really means a lot. And I look forward for you assisting Angel here in a few minutes by sharing your testimony in the company. And she's really excited and got her hair all done up, child. You can't tell her nothing. She ready, baby. She ready. She ready. It's going down. Okay, she said, she shook her head. She's like, no, Mom, no, please get off of it. Get off of it. You're trying to be hip now. Okay. All right, but thank you for the comment that you made. Anybody else have a comment or a question?
Good morning, Dr. Helen. This is Donna Lee. How are you?
Beautiful. Your ears should have been burning this morning too, because I was thinking of Ruth Ann early this morning. You know, people, you must know you love people when you accept a call and they get on the phone sound like a dude talking about good morning. I'm like, oh God. And so I accepted her call because she said you guys have a 911 going on with someone that you love. And so I gotta find a way to get this Balaj and these products to the person in Florida. And y'all know
so she's panicking. She's panicking.
Yeah, but sister girl done found a way, honey. I done worked it out. Sister, work it out.
This morning I just want to thank you for the person that you are, and God will always cover you and your family for your openness, for your sacrifice, because I know you sacrifice on a daily basis with what you do and to help everyone win. So God is always going to cover you. He's always going to bless you, and he's always going to be there every step of the way with you and your family. So I just want to say God bless and thank you for your sacrifice.
Hey, Queen,
Thank
Dr.
you
Helen.
so much. Yes, ma'am.
This is Dr. Ruth Ann. I just with the deep voice. Yes.
Good morning. Good morning, Cletus.
Good morning. How are you?
How you doing this morning?
Okay. No, it's like your voice is a little deep there too. Now, don't do that. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to say that people don't realize what it takes to open up the way you do, because it's one thing to give a training and talk about the Yes Atmosphere from a very generic standpoint. But I don't think persons realize what it takes to talk about yourself, you know, about those intimate things that happen in your home, between your loved ones, between your family, because then you don't know what people are going to do with that information. And so I just want to say thank you that you entrust us and you entrust the world, because you don't ever know where this information goes. And so I'm thankful and grateful that you're truthful, you stand in your truth, and you allow us to bear with you. Thank you so much.
Wow, that's powerful. I'm speechless. Thank you, Dr. Ruth Ann. I appreciate that.
Oh, well, sorry, I'll see if it is.
All
Dr.
right.
Helen, this Mr. Williams here, really briefly. Your best friend right about now. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you, just knowing Dr. Helen for so many years, she practices what she preaches, and it may not always be easy,
Excuse, could
but
you get us to talk from a place?
she really walks in an atmosphere of yes. Like she said yesterday, literally going to a restaurant that was closed. I know one of the owners, one of the other owners was saying it was closed,
I'm
but
trying to say something to them.
she was gonna get her turkey legs. I've seen her in the airport where they say the plane closed, you can't get on, and she gets on the plane. I've seen her in situations where they say we can't get in somewhere, or there's no more seats in the restaurant, and we get seats. It's just walking in a spirit of expectancy, and yes, you know, that's not always easy because you put yourself in other people in some tight situations, but it's always yes and amen. And so that's something that I've seen her do this in so many situations, and it works. So not only training and her just being so transparent today, but just know that you too can have a yes in any situation. And when you talk to somebody about the business, expect them to say yes. Expect them to get in at the $1,099 package. Expect them to do all the things that it took to get to the next level. Expect them to go gold in a month. Expect them to hit triple diamond in a year. So just having that expectancy and having a positive mindset about everything is something that's very effective. And just take notes. Take notes from everybody, not just Dr. Helen, but just from everybody that does these trainings and teaches, because it really works. So just an honor to be serving next to you, and glad you didn't drive. And good to see you in my home city. I'm out on the lake in Conroe right now.
I see you. I see you doing some big things. So thank you for your sentiments, sir. And I really appreciate you. Guys, if you're going to hear from the dynamic duo, Mr. Williams and myself, on tomorrow night. So make sure you get prepared for that training call at 8 p.m. Eastern. Tomorrow night, we have our Sunday night weekly training, and we're going to participate together tomorrow. And if those are a little concerned about you understanding the compensation plan of Sankey Global, but more importantly, not just you understanding the compensation plan, but you actually walking in it to maximize in the compensation plan. Like, how is it? How specifically, step by step, do you get out here and make $100 a day? Let's start with 100 first before we jump to 1,000. So we're going to be talking about that tomorrow night, and I'm really excited about it. And I know it needs to be a jam-packed call, because when we see a bunch of people on, it helps the training. If the training goes even all that better, more. No, well, that's not a word, really, a sentence. But the training is always better, because you will then start to perform and provide a high level of infotainment when you know that you have cheerleaders rooting you on. It's disheartening when we get on calls and there's 10 people or 15 people. It's even more disheartening when it's only a few people, and people need a win. Not that they want it, they need it because they're broke and broken. So tomorrow, please support it. Support your Lifestyle Connects today, 12 o'clock Eastern, 9
Dr.
p.m.
Helen, we have a young lady whose hands up, Nadia. I don't know if you wanted to say something. So Nadia, can you unmute yourself? Go ahead, Nadia. Okay, maybe she didn't want to say anything. Her hand was up. Okay, cool.
Hello,
Okay.
hello,
Hey,
hello,
yes, ma'am. You have a
hello.
question or a comment? Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Hi, my name is Laureen. I'm calling from Trinidad. I just wanted to ask some questions. If someone wants to order from Bangladesh, can you tell me what is the right way that they can do it? If they could.
I'm sorry. Look at your WhatsApp.
I
Someone
think
wants
she said if someone wants to order from Bangladesh.
Yeah, we can, let's table that question, for after the call. Because I'm not even sure if we're gonna open up that market right now. So, but maybe might be a way somebody can assist and aid. One of our, shipping liaisons can step in and help us out.
Okay, thank you.